What if the stars above you were not just distant lights in the sky, but mirrors? What if the rhythm of your heartbeat echoed the pulse of the cosmos, and every thought you think sends a ripple through unseen realms? As above, so below. As within, so without. As the universe, so the soul. These are not poetic curiosities. They are fragments of a secret so profound, so powerful, that ancient initiates risked their lives to protect it, and modern seekers still stumble upon its whisper in dreams. Déjà vu and divine timing. This is not just a saying etched on dusty Hermetic scrolls. It is a universal law, a metaphysical key that unlocks the structure of reality itself. It explains how galaxies swirl with the same intelligence as atoms, how our thoughts shape the fabric of our experiences, how hidden forces bind the spiritual and the physical in a sacred dance of cause and effect. In this video, we journey into the heart of the Hermetic axiom, as above, so below. But we will not stop at surface interpretations. We will descend into the mystery schools of Egypt, float through the astral corridors of Kabbalah, and stand beneath the celestial blueprint of sacred geometry. You will discover the esoteric origins of this ancient phrase and why it's more relevant today than ever. How this law reveals a holographic nature of reality, where the part reflects the whole. How understanding it can radically shift your perception, deepen your spiritual practice, and even transform how you interact with the world. And, most importantly, how to use this knowledge, not just understand it intellectually, but live it. Because the greatest truths aren't just meant to be known, they're meant to be embodied. Are you ready to look beyond the veil and see yourself as the universe sees you? To understand the true meaning of as above, so below, we must first step out of the linear mindset of modern thought and step into the spiraling halls of antiquity, where knowledge wasn't merely learned, but initiated. The phrase originates from a legendary text known as the Emerald Tablet, attributed to the enigmatic sage Hermes Trismegistus, a being said to be a fusion of the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth. More than a man, Hermes was regarded as a master of cosmic law, the scribe of the gods, and the revealer of sacred truths. The Emerald Tablet is just a few cryptic lines long, yet within it lies a blueprint for understanding the universe. The most famous verse reads, "That which is below corresponds to that which is above, and that which is above corresponds to that which is below, to accomplish the miracles of the one thing." This statement became the cornerstone of Hermeticism, a philosophical system that influenced alchemy, astrology, and sacred geometry, and later gave rise to the mystical undercurrents of Gnosticism, Kabbalah, Sufism, and even Renaissance science. To the Hermeticists, the universe was not chaotic or random. It was a vast, living organism in which every part reflected every other part. Microcosm mirrored macrocosm. Man reflected God. In ancient Egypt, this principle was encoded in the temples and pyramids. The design of the sacred spaces was a celestial mimicry, built to mirror the starry heavens. The Temple of Hathor at Dendera, for example, features a precise star map on its ceiling, signaling that worship was not merely prayer, but alignment with cosmic law. In the Kabbalistic tree of life, the 10 Sephiroth not only represent divine emanations from the infinite, they also represent aspects of the soul, stages of consciousness, and the structure of all things. The tree is not up there in the heavens, it is also in here, a map of the inner human being. This idea echoed through the works of Paracelsus, who said, "Man is a star bound to a body." It was the guiding force behind alchemy, which wasn't just about transmuting metals, but purifying the self, turning base human instincts into golden spiritual insight. Even in the East, similar echoes ring. In the mandala systems of Tibetan Buddhism and Hinduism, the same forms are drawn to represent both the cosmos and the inner self. And in the Taoist concept of yin and yang, the balance within reflects the balance without. Across every culture that gazed deeply into the nature of reality, one truth reemerged. The universe is not separate from you. The divine is not found out there in distant heavens. It is coded into your breath, your bones, your consciousness. To understand this truth is to possess a sacred lens, one that reveals the patterns behind chaos, the unity beneath division, and the hidden structure of reality itself. But this truth is not static. It is living, breathing, and accessible to those who are ready to perceive it. In the mirror of reality, decoding the mechanics of as above, so below. Imagine standing in front of an ancient mirror, not the kind that reflects your physical form, but one that reflects your soul, your thoughts, your emotions, even your unconscious patterns. Now imagine this mirror is not limited to your personal reflection. It also reflects the entire cosmos. This is the essence of as above, so below. It is not a poetic metaphor. It is a precise metaphysical equation. Let's begin with the macrocosm, the universe, the stars, the celestial order. Every celestial body, every planetary orbit, every constellation is part of a vast, intelligent system. Ancient astrologers didn't merely watch the stars, they interpreted them as living forces. Planets were seen as archetypes of consciousness, each influencing specific aspects of human behavior. For example, Mars is not just a red rock floating in space, it is the embodiment of willpower, conflict, and drive. Venus radiates the frequency of love, harmony, and attraction. When these planetary bodies shift in the sky, they signal shifts in our own inner world. Not by superstition, but by resonance. Just as the moon moves the tides of the ocean, it also moves the tides of our emotions. Our bodies are 70% water. Our thoughts are waves of energy. The rhythms of the cosmos dance within us. The macrocosm is embedded in the microcosm. Now turn inward. Within you lies an entire universe, a microcosmic reflection of the cosmos above. Your chakras are spinning wheels of energy that correspond not only to physical glands and organs, but to planetary archetypes and cosmic laws. Your mind mirrors the stars. Your heart echoes the sun. Your breath follows the rhythm of the earth. When you feel fear, it does not arise in isolation. That emotion resonates through your field, changing the patterns of your reality. Thoughts become form. Emotion becomes matter. You become a creative force. Here's where the ancient wisdom meets cutting-edge science. In quantum physics, we discover that the observer influences the observed. That reality responds to attention, to intention. That particles do not exist in a fixed state. They exist in a probability field, collapsing into form only when observed. What does this mean? It means that consciousness, your consciousness, is not passive. It is active. It shapes reality, not metaphorically, but literally. The more coherent your inner world, the more ordered your outer world becomes. As above, so below is the sacred mechanism behind synchronicity, behind manifestation, behind miracles. It is the hidden key behind alchemy, not the transformation of lead into gold, but the transformation of the self into a vessel capable of holding divine frequency. When the Hermetic sages spoke of this law, they weren't speaking of superstition. They were offering a blueprint, a way to live in alignment with the structure of the cosmos. To recognize that every thought, every word, every action is a stone cast into the pond of the universe, creating ripples that echo outward and return inward. But what are the hidden layers of this law? What does so below truly imply about the responsibility we hold? And how do the subtle planes, emotional, mental, and spiritual, interact with the physical world? In the next section, we will descend deeper. We will explore how the astral and material worlds interact, and how hidden patterns in your life are not random, but the result of vibrational echoes from above. The interwoven planes, how the invisible shapes the visible. To truly understand as above, so below, we must move beyond the stars and the self. We must journey into the intermediary worlds. Between the seen and unseen lie the subtle planes, the energetic realms that mystics have spoken of for millennia. The astral plane, the mental plane, the etheric plane. Each of these levels acts as a filter and transmitter. Think of them like layers of glass. Light from above passes through these panes, and depending on their clarity or distortion, it alters what appears in your physical reality. Your emotions are not just chemical responses, they are energy fields. When unprocessed, they become dense, magnetic residues in your aura. These residues begin to attract experiences that mirror their frequency. This is why people who harbor resentment often encounter betrayal, why those in a constant state of fear magnetize danger. It's not punishment, it's resonance. It's the sacred feedback loop. What you carry within is reflected without. Let's use a metaphor. Imagine your life as a vast garden. The stars above are the sun and weather patterns, influencing growth in cyclical waves. Your subconscious is the soil, rich with memory and meaning. Your conscious mind plants seeds, thoughts, beliefs, intentions. And your emotional body is the water, feeding or drowning those seeds, depending on its purity. Now here's the mystery most ignore. The weeds don't just grow from the ground, they are pulled from the stars as well. Your birth chart, your ancestral energy, your karmic imprints, all of these influence what grows in your field. But none of it is fixed. That's the beauty, because as above, so below is not a law of fate, it is a law of harmony. It tells us that when we realign the below, the body, the emotions, the mind, we recalibrate the connection to the above. This is why ritual, meditation, and sacred geometry exist. These aren't mere spiritual hobbies. They're technologies designed to bring your inner field into resonance with cosmic intelligence. They shape your subtle body so it becomes a clear channel for divine influence. In alchemical terms, this is the process of creating the philosopher's stone, not a literal rock, but a perfected vessel. You. So how does this change your life? It means your pain is not senseless. Your challenges are not chaotic. They are the echoes of energetic dissonance, calling for restoration. You are not merely a person reacting to the world. You are a living sigil, casting waves into the quantum field. This understanding empowers you to take control of your inner temple, to clean the glass panes, to cultivate coherence between your thoughts, emotions, and actions, so the reflection of your world becomes a sacred mirror, not a distorted one. And when alignment is achieved, when the below harmonizes with the above, reality shifts, synchronicities increase, resistance decreases. You move with the rhythm of divine will rather than against it. As above, so below. As within, so without. As the universe, so the soul. This is not poetry. This is the architecture of existence. In the next section, we will dive into practical applications, techniques to attune your daily life to these laws and to become a conscious co-creator of your reality. Turning the mirror inward, how to align the below with the above. The beauty of esoteric knowledge lies not just in its depth, but in its use. The ancient adepts were not just thinkers, they were doers. They understood that truth without embodiment is like a key left in a drawer, powerful but pointless. So how do we apply as above, so below in our daily lives? Let's begin with inner alignment. If the outer world reflects your inner state, then to change the mirror, you must polish the source. 1. Daily energetic hygiene. Just as you bathe your body, you must cleanse your energetic field. One of the simplest ways to do this is through conscious breath work. Each morning, close your eyes and take 7 deep, rhythmic breaths. With each inhale, visualize divine light pouring in from above, illuminating your crown. With each exhale, release stagnant thoughts and emotions. This breath not only clears the auric field, but opens the channel between the lower and higher self. Think of it as tuning the instrument of your being to receive cosmic frequencies. 2. Sacred space. Ritual. Create a small altar or sacred space in your home, a mirror of the inner temple. Place items that represent the four elements: earth, air, fire, and water. Light a candle daily, even for just a few minutes, and recite an intention aloud. As I align with truth above, may truth manifest below. As I hold harmony within, may harmony ripple without. This simple act roots metaphysical law into physical form. Ritual is how we engrave the invisible onto the visible. 3. Emotional transmutation. Whenever you encounter conflict or emotional pain, pause. Instead of reacting, reflect. What within me is this revealing? Write it down, sit with it. Then use the ancient alchemical formula: observation, acceptance, intention, transformation. You are not your emotion. You are the alchemist behind it. 4. Lunar reflection. Use the phases of the moon as checkpoints for your own inner transformation. On the new moon, set intentions. On the full moon, release what no longer serves. This practice connects your internal cycles with celestial rhythms, mirroring heaven on earth. 5. Meditation with sacred geometry. Sit before a symbol such as the flower of life or the Metatron's cube. Gaze upon it in stillness, letting it draw you inward. These shapes are not mere decoration. They are maps of the universal design. By contemplating them, you attune your subconscious to the divine architecture, the same geometry that governs galaxies and atoms alike. These practices are not complex, but their power lies in consistency. The more you embody the principle of as above, so below, the more you begin to see life not as a series of accidents, but as a perfectly woven tapestry of feedback, messages, and opportunities. Every encounter becomes a reflection. Every challenge becomes a message. Every moment becomes an invitation. You become less of a victim to chaos and more of a participant in cosmic harmony. The ancients were never separate from the divine. They knew that the stars above were merely extensions of the stars within, and so are you. The mirror speaks. But are you listening? The phrase, as above, so below, is more than an ancient saying. It is a cosmic whisper, a secret encoded in the very breath of the universe, a timeless truth etched into the structure of your soul. It teaches us that nothing is isolated, that heaven and earth, thought and form, spirit and matter, they are all one great dance, one endless reflection. To live by this law is to become aware that your life is not happening to you. It is happening through you. Your thoughts shape your reality. Your emotions ripple into form. Your energy is the brush painting the world you see. When you align the inner with the outer, the above with the below, you step into the role of creator, not just observer. You no longer wait for change. You become it. So as you walk through your day, remember, the world is your mirror. What do you see? And more importantly, what will you choose to reflect? Take these teachings, practice them, test them, let them move from theory to transformation. And if even a spark of this truth resonates with you, then share it. Because when one person awakens, the entire web of creation vibrates with new light. You are the temple. You are the cosmos in motion. And the divine is not above you. It's within you. Until next time, seek the hidden, walk in wonder, and never stop looking both above and below.